Hi, I'm the Love Guru Blair, and today we're talking about using a matchmaker to help you find love, and if it's really a good choice and if it's the right choice for you. And the reason why I'm sharing this video and sharing this information is because I offer a service that's an alternative to a matchmaking service, and it is much more effective and it gets results all the time. So that's my ulterior motive for sharing this video. Now, first off, about me, my name is the Love Guru Blair. This was a title that Spirit gave me many, many years ago in my early 20s. This was before I even realized that this was my path in life. I thought it was kind of a joke when I heard Spirit say to me, "You're the Love Guru," or, they said Love Guru Blair, and I would write it around everywhere. I would do artwork and I would write it. And I didn't realize at the time how psychic I was. My gifts have come out over the years. But this has been my path in life. When you come into the world, everybody has a certain thing that they're supposed to do here. And for me, that is about talking about love and helping people with their relationships and things related to love. And I share this because I have been in the dating and relationship field for 15 years now. And yeah, it started like right when I was out of college. I used to plan singles events. I used to plan couples events. I was recruited by Match.com to run their events in New York and New Jersey. And I worked as a matchmaker for one of the TV shows out there by Warner Brothers TV. So I have been doing this in a really long time. Along the years too, I planned bachelorette parties, and I'm trained as a marriage and family therapist. So I share this all with you so you have the background of like what I'm all about and my perspective on this. Now, most people that I help are in their 30s and their 40s, and you guys have been around the block, you've had your experience with relationships, things have not worked out, and you're looking to get married or you're looking to get into a serious relationship, and not just with anybody, you want to be with the one. And what's the story? I mean, at this point, when things haven't worked out for you, when you try online dating or you ask people to match you up and you've kind of done your own thing of finding men or women, and that hasn't worked out for you either, again, you get to a certain age and you have reached a certain level of success, you make a certain amount of money, and you want a partner that's going to match you. So the next step then usually is people turn to high-powered people, who are doing their thing in the world and again have achieved a certain level of success. Well, then you think, let me go to a matchmaker because I'll tell her or him, if it's a male matchmaker, because there are male matchmakers out there, I'll tell him or her, this is what I want in a partner. They'll get to know me and they'll find matches for me, and I'll go out on these like one-on-one dates. Me personally, I think that matchmakers are totally ineffective. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of money. And really what they're doing is matching you up with somebody who's like of the general kind of like how they look, looks-wise, how they match you, personality-wise, how they match you, and money-wise, how they match you. And you might say, well, what's so wrong with that, Blair? That sounds good to me. Well, there's an opportunity here for you to experience a much deeper relationship. And if you're watching this video, if you were drawn to this video, then I'm thinking that you're probably looking for a deeper relationship, a deeper connection with someone too. Now, let's go back to the traditional matchmaker, because I call myself an alternative matchmaker. But a traditional matchmaker, they don't even know if they're really going to find you a partner. They can tell you that they will, but really in the end, they go into their database. That's how they work. They go into their database and they see who matches up with you, and then they just like send you on dates. Hey, I got someone that's perfect for you. Go out on a date. Go spend this money. Go spend time. I mean, even if you're a woman and you're not spending money on the date, you're spending money to get dressed. You're going out to get a nice dress. you're getting your makeup done, you're doing your hair, you're getting a haircut, maybe you're waxing, like whatever you're getting done, you're getting a manicure, a pedicure, whatever, you're still spending money. So, like I said, they're going into their database and they're looking for someone for you, or they'll go out on the street and they'll go look for someone there too, and they'll grab you. Hey, are you single? I have someone who's perfect for you. And that is how matchmakers work, okay? So again, maybe that works for some people. Maybe that's something that you're looking for, but what I'm offering you is an opportunity to work with me, to study with me, and to truly attract the one. And this is what I offer my students and my clients, is the opportunity to be empowered in your life. So and also, besides the point, that my technique works all the time. If you apply it, it works. You attract the one. And I've tried out this technique, we'll say with me personally, okay, besides talking about my clients, we'll say personally, I have tried this out over and over again. I've attracted soulmate after soulmate after soulmate using this method. And then I attract my twin flame because I kept on going for the gold. All right. And if you're not familiar with spiritual relationships, spiritual hierarchy, a soulmate is the one. So is a twin flame. That's also the one. And that's what I teach people do. That's what I do, is I help you attract the one so you can get married. And you have to be real hardcore about it. It's for people who are just like really want to get married, not like people who are wishy-washy about it, who just want to go on dates. All right. If you're coming to me, you're not having trouble getting dates. This is about finding the one. So let me just go back to my story, because I think it's the perfect example, because really I was my first student. I was my first client. I wanted to figure this out for myself. So I used the techniques and I attracted the one. And how did I attract that first one? I was walking on the street in New York City, and he was walking his dog, and we happened to be at a stoplight, and he turned around and our eyes connected, and it was on right there. It was on like Donkey Kong. Like there was just something, this like energy. I mean, you see stuff in movies on how like that energy just kind of like surrounds the people. That's how the connection was. And we dated for a while, and then there were choices that had to be made, and I decided to leave that relationship. And then right after that, and I'm talking about like within the month, I attracted another one. Okay, because first off, let's get real here. There is not just one for you. There's many ones, and then you can decide based on how your relationship is together, how you create that relationship. Because it takes two to tango, right? You both bring your own energy to the relationship, and you decide what kind of relationship you want to create. And also like what the person's providing for you, what they're bringing into your world, if you want to continue on that path with them, if that is a good enough partner for you. So I am a little bit of a perfectionist, or a lot. And again, this is my mission in the world. This is what I'm meant to do in the world. So I didn't know it at the time. I was just, again, doing it for my own purposes. Was like, I guess I was kind of like testing out my method to see if it really worked and if it could work for over and over again. So I would get in these relationships with the one, and then I kept on upgrading the type of guy I wanted to be with. Now, maybe that sounds shitty to some of you, and if it does, then you're probably not the best client for me, because we're probably not a match, because I am really intense, I'm really passionate, and I'm also all about bettering myself, always bettering myself and upgrading, becoming a better version of me. So my ideal partner, the one who's going to match with me for the long run, a life partner, is going to be someone who's always bettering themselves too, and always working on the relationship, working on themselves. So if that is you, then we should keep talking here. So that's what the story is. So basically, like, that's what I'm saying. I kept on upgrading. I kept on bettering my life, and I kept on raising the standards of the type of partner I wanted. I was growing in confidence. And that's what the method that I teach gives to you. It improves your confidence. It raises your confidence that you want more. So I attracted 3 soulmates, and then I went through deeper healing and I upgraded again what I wanted in a partner, and I attracted my twin flame. So on a spiritual, like kind of spiritual definition of twin flame, it's a higher level relationship than a soulmate. It's the highest form of spiritual relationship is a twin flame. And I attracted that. And not many people attract that in this world. And that is, again, the highest of high. So I share that with you to say that, first off, let me introduce myself, okay? My name is the Love Guru. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm an intuitive heart healer. I'm a love expert, and I'm a psychic medium. Now, as I shared with you guys before, the service that I provide is I'm an alternative matchmaker. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that we work together over a period of time, and I teach you exactly how to use the methods that I use, that I teach to many of my students and my clients on how to attract the one to you. Now, why would you want to do this yourself rather than having a middleman, right? Like rather than just going to a matchmaker and saying, hey, find me the one. Because you're a person that is into self-growth, because you're a person that wants to be empowered in your life. And you're also a person that understands that shit happens in a relationship. And the only thing that we can control is how we're showing up in a relationship. But if a person that we match with has like a commitment problem, if something happens that we're not okay with in a relationship and we have to leave that relationship, we want to be able, again, who knows what'll happen in a relationship? Things get bad and things can't get better. Whatever the story is, you want to be able to have that power within yourself that if a relationship does not work out, that you know fully, you have that faith and you have that confidence within yourself that you can go back out into the world and attract a partner like that. Because again, when I was using this method and I was like actively in the learning of it, that the universe was kind of taking me under its wing and showing me the way of how to do this. Because ever since I was young, I always was wondering, how do you find the one? How do you find the one? It is not a numbers game. And it's not that you turn a certain age and all of a sudden the one appears in your life. It doesn't work like that. So when I was using this method, I was getting in like really short relationships that were a spiritual connection, that were my soulmates. And then I was out of them because I was upgrading, because I was more committed to myself than the relationship. And then right away, I was able to attract another partner into my life just like that. So the stuff that I teach puts you in an empowered state. You have the knowledge. You come work with me on a one-time basis. This is also the reason why I charge the way I charge, which I charge the same amount as regular upscale matchmakers. But I'm giving you so much more. You come to me, you learn the methods, and then you go. That's how all my clients have worked with me over the years. They come to me, they learn the methods, and then they're like, we're getting married. I met my one and I'm getting married and thank you so much. And then I don't hear from them till like years later if they're having maybe a little issues in their relationship and they need a little tune-up. But my clients don't need to come back to me. I don't have anybody being reliant on me or a crutch on me. Now, if you're using a traditional matchmaker, if they happen to find you a connection, which who knows if they do, it's a crapshoot. Okay, they're like convincing you that they will find someone. But like I said, it's a very surface level match on how they're connecting you. And if you can have God make the match for you, wouldn't you rather do that than a person? If you can have power to connect with spirit or the universe or God to say, these are my requests. This is what I want in a partner. And then for God to bring you everything that you want in a partner and more. Because again, that's what happens. And to meet in a magical way like this, I'm guided to tell you this story about how I met my twin flame. because that was another magical story. I have nonstop magical stories like this, and so do my clients on how they meet the one too. And again, if you work with a matchmaker, a traditional matchmaker, you're not going to have these stories. You're going to say, oh, we went on a date and they found me somebody. Or I waited 6 months or 8 months and I was going on a bunch of different dates that the matchmaker was sending me on, but no one was really right. And we'll get to the reason about that too, about the second part of what I offer you that traditional matchmakers don't offer you. But before we do that, let me share the story about how I met my twin flame. I used to take frequent vacations down to Florida, and I was down there over the Thanksgiving holiday. And one day I was wandering around again thinking, hey, I'd like to have a partner in my life. And I started using my method, stirring up the energy, the manifestation energy. And spirit guided me. Because again, when you use these techniques, your psychic gifts come out. So spirit was saying to me, hey, why don't you go to this certain hotel and go sit at the pool and pretend you're a tourist? And I was like, oh, okay, fine. That sounds like fun. I've never done that before. I never even thought of that. But it was my guide speaking to me. Again, this is going to happen to you too. You're going to get more in touch with your intuition, which is one of your natural born gifts. We're all born intuitive. It's just a matter of like, you know, normally we're taught to just honor our thinking, our mind. But this is about getting into your heart and having your heart guide you, having your instincts guide you. So spirit told me, go to this pool, pretend like you're a tourist, and go hang out at the pool. So I said, okay, that sounds like fun. So I went to the pool, and as soon as I walked in, this guy was in the pool playing with this girl who could have been his daughter, which was not, thankfully, because I don't want a guy who has a daughter already. But I walked in the pool, and then as soon as I saw him, like our eyes met, right? Sounds very similar to the other story I had about the New York thing. But this story's even better. So our eyes met, and after I was sitting at the pool and I was guided to go sit by him over by the lounge chair, which I didn't even know he was sitting over there because he was in the pool. We started talking, and it ended up that we were going out for drinks that evening. And it ends up that this guy was from England, and I was from New Jersey down in Florida on vacation. He was in England in Florida for vacation, which where we met is not a typical like European vacation spot. If people are from out of town there, they're from New York, New Jersey area. They're not from England. So I met this British guy, and we hit it off. And it ended up that not only did we hit it off and there was a connection there, whatever, but it ended up that we met on his last day of vacation in America. And it was also his first time in America too. So really, like, what are the odds of that? So we connected that evening, and he was like, I'm going to come out to New Jersey to visit you. And I was like, whatever. I don't even know what this guy is talking about. Like, it's a far flight. I think it's something I forgot because I haven't taken the trip in a while. It's something like 9 or 10 hours, the trip. Well, that's from Miami. I'm sorry, because we were doing that. Because it ended, you know, whatever. He was my twin flame. We were together. We ended up getting married. So we were flying back and forth. But anyway, 2 weeks later, he ended up coming out to New Jersey to visit me. So this was like my Prince Charming coming in, and he was this exotic guy. He was different. He was interesting to me. I was tired of like the typical guys and the typical conversations. And again, like I said, I've been in this dating field working professionally for 15 years. So you know what people say, you know how the flirting thing goes. And this was interesting to me to meet a different type of guy. On top of that, he had money. He was flying out to New Jersey to see me. He was staying in a hotel when he came to visit me. He was a real gentleman. He didn't expect to stay at my apartment. We had just met, and he was taking me out to eat. He was taking me to all these different experiences. And again, I share this with you is because this was everything on my list and more. I felt like I was on an episode, an extended episode of The Bachelorette on how he was flying me all over the place. We were taking trips together. We were going out for fancy dinners. He was buying me gifts. This was everything that I wanted. So again, the service that I offer, you get, not only do you get to attract your one, you get to have magical stories like this. One of my clients, the one, her one, has the same birthday as her. I mean, again, you have like these really cool stories, these connections that can only be facilitated by God, that's how you have that connection. So the other thing that I offer that traditional matchmakers don't offer is going back to what I shared with you on how I'm a spiritual teacher and I'm an intuitive heart healer. And the way that works is that when we have the sessions together, when we work together, because we work together over a shortened period of time and I give you all that information and then you go out into the world and you use it, or I work with you over an extended period of time, 3 months or 5 months, that we're having regular weekly sessions that I'm either coming to your office or coming to your home, or we're doing sessions virtually through Skype or the phone. And I'm teaching you how to partner with the universe to attract the one. So that's the spiritual teacher side of it. Okay, that's the teacher side of it. You're learning, you're growing as a person, you're expanding. But you also get the healer side of me. I'm a heart healer. So a lot of times, the reason why people are not attracting the one is one of 2 reasons. One, you don't have the skills, you don't have the tools, the know-how of how to attract love, or you are blocked in some way, that there's some parts of you that are shut down, that your heart is not open, that you have been hurt by past experiences, that you're still carrying that baggage around with you. Because past hurts from relationships, first off, we've all gone through past pain, all right? Now, the typical, the way that our society tells us to deal with this is to like get over it, you know, to move on, to maybe mourn about it for like a day or 2 or a week or maybe a month. Even a month is like a little bit extended. Oh my God, don't you do that. But you don't get over it just by saying, I'm going to get over it. That energy of disappointment, of sadness, of frustration, of resentment, that stays in your energy field until it is healed. So what I offer to my clients, and if we work together, what I offer to you is that as you're learning these principles of how to work with the universe to attract the one, that I'm also doing healing work on you. Because it's a 2-part thing. Like I said, you're either missing one or the other, or you're missing both. And that's the reason why you haven't been successful in attracting the one. It is a step-by-step formula. That, as I shared, that's what I was always looking for. I was always looking for the secret formula on how to attract the one. And this is it. Spirit answered my prayers of what I wanted to know. It gave me the answer to my questions. And then that's what I share with you guys. So back to the question, will a matchmaker find you love? Is a matchmaker the right choice for you? Well, that's really up to you. Do you want someone to do it for you and you're not sure if you're going to get the results? You're not sure how long it's going to take, and you're not even sure if that relationship will last if they happen to find someone for you. But you're not doing any of the healing work. You're not getting educated at all on how to attract a partner, and you're reliant on them. So for example, like let's say you do get into a relationship down the line, whether through the matchmaker or on your own, and then say that relationship doesn't work out, then you're going to have to go back to the matchmaker because they're your crutch, right? They're like your drug dealer, right? You need more love in your life. Oh my God, give me more love. So you go back to your drug dealer. Who's your drug dealer? The matchmaker. So you're going to go back to them. You're going to have to pay the high price again to go find love, and then you'll go through the whole thing again. Now, what are the odds of a relationship not working out, of you having to go back to a matchmaker or go back to a dating site or whatever? Well, the odds are pretty high because people are changing and evolving so much these days that we are outgrowing the relationships that we have, and we need to find new partners, or we have to learn how to grow with our partners, which is going to lead into the second video that I'm going to make. Because not only do I help people attract the one, I also help you maintain happy and healthy relationships. And there is a formula to having that work out also. So that's the information. So will a matchmaker find you the one? Who the hell knows? And if they do, you're not becoming a better person because of the experience. You're still reliant on them. You're still in a disempowered state. And if all this stuff resonates with you, then I invite you to have an initial consultation, which is also a heart healing session with me. You can find the information at loveguru.net. You can sign up there. And you can experience my alternative way of doing this. Because as I shared also, I'm a psychic and I'm a medium and I channel information. So when you're having a session with me, when you're working with me, when we have that agreement that you're going to be my client, you're going to be one of my students, and we're going to do this together, I'm invested in working with you. I'm invested in you attracting the one. I'm psyched about it. A lot. Sometimes, I was going to say a lot because that was in the past. A lot of times in the past, I was more excited than my clients about helping them attract the one, about getting excited about it. I don't take on those types of clients anymore because this is about you having the passion for living your best life. But there's a three-pronged thing. You're getting the teachings on how to attract the one. You're getting healings on whatever is blocking you. I clear that. I help you clear that. I help you understand why you have been sabotaging your relationships. And then the third part of that is that I channel information from spirit. So whatever specific guidance or exercises that spirit has for you that you're going to understand, that's going to make sense for you on how you can move forward in attracting a healthy relationship, a happy relationship, to be with the one so that you can get married, you also get that from your experience with working with me. And also in between sessions, just as like an FYI, this is a really proactive way of being. It's very action-oriented. It's very results-oriented. You get exercises to do in between sessions that we work together. So again, this is like a hardcore program to really, in a short amount of time, get you attracting the one. Because that's the goal, right? You're not coming to me to fuck around. Excuse my French, but not really, because this is how I talk. So you're not coming to me to fuck around. You're coming to me because you want to attract the one and you want to get married. And if you want results, then that's the reason why you come to me. If you want to be proactive in your love life, that's the reason why you come to me. If you want to get married, that's the reason you come to me. So schedule your initial consultation and heart healing session at loveguru.net, and we'll talk about how we can work together and if this is a good fit. Thanks. Bye-bye.